Mayor and Commissioners. It's really a pleasure standing here tonight and actually listening to nothing but positive messages affirming some of the leadership in the city. And I think that's a great thing that you all need to embrace right now. And I've been reading some of the papers and everything, and I'm not a Fort Lauderdale resident. I live in the city of Pompano. I stood here a month ago in horror with what should have been probably criminal when I saw Broward House, a funded provider, basically hijack a process here and act like a poverty pimp and overcharge and run away with contract dollars. And I hate to be so blunt, but I stood here till about 2:30 that night, sick, and I just learned last week that my HIV medications are now failing me, so I'm having to readdress all that issue. And I'm still trying to follow how process works. I'm watching how lobbyists overtake the system of government and take it away from people, and how they distance the opportunity to basically have access to elected officials many times and the decision makers to bring the messages and the hardships that elected officials need to hear. In this room tonight, we have had so many diverse communities tell you that George Gretsas is doing a good job. You've had Haitian people, you've had black community people, you've had white, you've had gay, and you also have people living with HIV/AIDS. You have people that you normally can't sit down at one table for dinner. All tell you the same message: he's doing a great job. I sat in that conference room upstairs where everybody was sent with all the providers to hash out that deal. And I've been very angry all day today over certain things that are going around and the lack of leadership of elected officials on the issue of HIV/AIDS, not just here in the city of Fort Lauderdale, but in the county, in the state, and in our national government. And when I sat upstairs, I saw an elected official of another city who heads up an agency just act like a beast. I seen an agency try to derail a whole process and try to just garner as much money and be a pig at the trough rather than actual help people in need. And what I saw Mr. Gretsas do was restore dignity. He restored dignity and integrity to a process and for people in need who are unable to advocate for themselves. And I saw him sit there and negotiate while people never once talked about how much better their service is compared to another agency. They all fought over how many pieces of pie they could get in their hand out of a jar. Not one of them ever talked about the people like me. So Mr. Gretsas, thank you for your leadership, and I implore you all to really think about what's happening and look at how lobbyists interact and affect the system. And thank you again.
Thank you.